Moving average, convergence, divergence.
Is that clear?
The most common formula that is by default used on almost all charting packages is the 12-26-9 formula. The way it works is the MACD line is made up of the difference between the value of the 12-day and the 26-day exponential moving averages. Then a 9-day exponential moving average of the MACD is superimposed over the MACD as the signal line. MACD is what's known as a centered oscillator. In other words, the MACD fluctuates above and below a centering line, typically known as the zero line. These types of oscillators are good for identifying strength or weakness or direction of momentum behind a security's move. As we talked about in the formula, here are two exponential moving averages, the 12 and the 26, plotted right on a price chart. The faster moving average is the blue line, the 12, and the slower EMA is the red line, the 26. You see the 12 is at 40 approximately, and the 26 is at 38. So the difference between the two, the 40 minus the 38, gives us the MACD line. Here the MACD is plotted down below. The black line that I'm pointing at is the MACD line. You see it is at 2. That's the 40 minus the 38, so it's a positive 2. The MACD will fluctuate below and above the zero line. Typically, with centering oscillators, when the oscillator is above the zero line, we are in a bullish mode, and when the oscillator is below the zero line, we are in a bearish mode. This other line drawn here is the 9 exponential moving average, the 9-period EMA of the MACD of this black line itself. You know, the moving averages in and of themselves are known to be lagging indicators. And this chart represents that pretty well. As you can see, this move down turned right about here. And it wasn't until about 5, 6, 7 days later that the moving averages actually signaled the change. A real lag there, and these are exponential moving averages. They're actually faster than a regular simple moving average. So simple moving averages would be slower yet. Again, here's the change in direction, and then the crossover in the moving averages didn't happen until, a week and a half later. One last time, the change in direction happens way down here, and then about 6, 7 days later, the change in crossover in the moving averages. Now, MACD, on the other hand, is much faster and much more responsive to the change. So as you can see, the changeover, the crossover in MACD crossing the signal line happens here at this blue line, and the red line shows how much more later it was that the actual moving averages crossed. Here again, the MACD crossovers, and here is the actual moving average crossovers, and then again, finally, the MACD crossing over, and it wasn't until much later that the moving average actually crossed over. Now, remember how MACD is created. The MACD is the difference between the 12-day and the 26-day. So if MACD crosses above the zero line, This indicates that the 12-day has crossed above the 26-day. And so as you see, the MACD crossing the zero line here is really representative of where the true moving averages are doing their crossover. As MACD is rising, this is telling us that the gap between the 12-day and the 26-day is widening. Therefore, indicating that bullish momentum is increasing. As MACD crosses down below the zero line, we know that the 12-day has crossed down below the 26-day. And as it continues in its downward path, we can understand and assume that the distance between the two moving averages is widening. Therefore, bearish sentiment is increasing. The momentum is strengthening in the downward trend, as long as that the MACD line is in descent. I would like to point out that the histogram.
Oh, sorry.
Averages crossed. Here again, the MACD crossovers. So as you see, the MACD crossing the zero line here is really representative of where the true moving averages are doing their crossover. As MACD is rising, this is telling us that the gap between the 12-day and the 20 trend, as long as that the MACD line is in descent. I would like to point out that the histogram represents the difference between MACD and its 9-day EMA. If you notice that as the histogram gets larger, this is representing how wide the distance is between the MACD and the 9-day EMA. The histogram is positive when the MACD is above its 9-day EMA. So in this case, here's where the MACD is crossed over and it's above the 9-day. The histogram goes positive at that point. And the histogram goes negative when the MACD is below the 9-day EMA. Now another powerful tool
So this is another tool
in the
this is
MACD
divergence.
is the
This which I have not told.
creation of divergences. Let me point some out. Here in March and April on this chart, you can see price was increasing by this resistance line drawn above the price. But MACD, as you can see, was falling. The peaks in the MACD were getting lower. This was kind of a heads up that that there was a change.
So it is telling you a divergence, we can always see a divergence. Now I told you that, price and volume. The price is rising, volume is also going up. So price is supported by volume. We say the trend is real. But sometimes it happens, as I gave you a real estate example in Gurgaon, the rates are going up, but the volumes are dropping. That means we are going to end of the price movement. Price ऊपर नहीं बढ़ेगा आगे जाके, क्योंकि prices are going up a little bit, but the volumes are dropping. So the both were giving a different this thing. कि price तो बढ़ रहा है, लेकिन volumes गिरते हैं, transactions are falling. So that means the price is not going to go up further. After some time, it will also turn. So that's the divergence. The price and volume give you a different kind of a picture. So here also, the MACD and the price, both are giving you a divergence, okay? That the prices are rising where the MACD line is falling. So he's telling. So if that happens, just hold on. If that happens, that means the price is going to fall. Look at this. यहाँ पर price बढ़ रहा था और MACD was falling, then the MACD went below the zero line. अभी आप 2 मिनट के लिए होल्ड करो, अभी करते हैं. Okay. So is that okay? Just let's complete this. Here you raise the question.
Here's another divergence where price is creating lower lows shown by this descending support line, but the MACD was having higher lows. So again, here's a heads up, a divergence between MACD an action in price, MACD telling us, warning us that there was the momentum of this down move was weakening, and therefore a change was imminent. One more time, another example of a divergence: lower lows in price, higher lows in MACD, and then immediately followed by a MACD crossover and a change in direction. It's important to notice as well that MACD was making higher lows, but moving averages were making lower lows in this case. Here, the moving averages were making lower lows, but the MACD was making higher lows.
Okay, yeah. Is it okay? समझ में आ गया? सुना था? So it was just exactly what I have, except the price and the difference, the divergence was the added thing. Otherwise, I've covered everything on my side. Yeah, आपका क्वेश्चन था? हाँ जी, बताइए. हाँ जी. ओके ओके, हाँ ब्रेक में पूछ लेना. अब थोड़ा लेट आए थे ना थोड़ा सा. अच्छा एक अब हाँ अभी पूछना आप. मैं लेट मी जस्ट टेक आउट दिस स्लाइड and then we can resume. Because there's one more indicator which is left, which is RSI. Okay, you can ask the question, but let me just open this. Okay, part 1 tha, part 4 tha. Okay, so आपका क्वेश्चन पूछिए. Price and volume. So if you put update लगाया ना, तो everything will, price and volume will be captured in all other indicators also. अभी तक नहीं है. अभी तक नहीं. ठीक है चलो. अब हम देखते हैं relative strength listing. Fine. So this is अभी हमने क्या करा? Index and pattern and moving average. Fine. So now we are saying that the index is giving a signal that the market is range bound. Okay. In that case, the range bound indicators are more relevant. They are like RSIs and stochastics and other things. आप एक समझ लोगे तो बाकी आप पढ़ोगे आपको समझ में आएगा. एक कौन समझ लेते हैं? RSI. Now RSI जो है, that's an indicator, relative strength indicator. You understand how the RSI has been calculated out. It's comparatively much easier to understand compared to the ADX. Okay. So here, if the RSI shows that, because it will have a reading between say 0 to 100, okay, if the RSI value above 70 suggests that the asset is overbought. Conversely, reading below 30, assets is oversold. Now somebody asked in the last class, ये overbought or oversold क्या चीज होती है? Okay. Because in derivatives market, there is something called oversold and overbought. When people are buying, even in the larger, this thing also, markets always make mistakes. Markets are not perfect. The level of Sensex or Nifty is not the level what is reflecting the true value of Nifty or Sensex. Sometimes there is a bouts of optimism, sometimes there is a bouts of pessimism. जब optimism होती है, तो market will keep rising and it will push up the valuation levels. The market will go up. It will forget that it has crossed the fundamentals. जो fundamentals जो बता रहे हैं कि कंपनी की इतनी अच्छी पोजीशन है, लेकिन लोगों ने उसको खरीद के बढ़ा दिया. Okay, because people who miss the rally, they will say, okay, let me buy it. Okay, and sometimes you try to justify कि ये आगे बढ़ी जाएगा तो हम इसको खरीद के रखेंगे. So people get optimistic. When the market starts falling because of some bad news coming out of from say because of the war or because of some economic this thing or the Trump coming into power and which can be bad for certain countries. So all that news, okay, or some change in Indian politics. So it can lead to a pessimism as well as optimism. जब market नीचे गिरती है, so people start selling in panic. They get panic, and as if there is no tomorrow, and people will start selling, and push down the price even below its fundamental level. तो होना चाहिए उससे भी नीचे हो जाए. So the markets are never fairly valued. they will be either overvalued or undervalued. Okay, fine. So that is what it says, either it is oversold or overbought. Now, from the shorter term perspective, because there is a future and options market, there is a lot of speculation happening in the stocks, okay, which are either pushing up the prices or pushing down the prices, because there you require less of the money as compared to the cash market, where you have to spend 100% of the stock value to buy a stock. Here you don't have to buy the stock, you have to just deposit a market. आपने 20% margin दिया, you can take a long position in any stock, or you can take a short position. People are either shorting the market or pushing the market up in the future option market. Fine. तो जब वो market जब suppose काफी बढ़ गई, okay, then people realize that it is crossed, it's oversold. So that is, let's not go into that. अब पहले इसको ही देख लेते हैं. कोडाई का ये समझ आया, इसका क्या है, oversold और समझ आया. तो जब अगर ये 70 पे है, तो it's overbought. And 30 पे है, it is oversold. So overbought and oversold. So this is overbought, this is oversold. Is that okay? Fine. Again, if it is oversold, when it is overbought, okay, then we can sell. अगर हमें पता चल कि ये overbought situation market है, तो we can sell in the market, short selling and make money. Or if it is, overbought है तो sell कर लेंगे, oversold है तो we'll buy, okay, and make money, because we know that it will hover between two range. Market is, or the stock price is going to hover between a lower and upper band. So one band will be overbought, another band will be another price will be oversold. So at the time when the market is oversold, I can buy and wait for the stock price to go up in the overbought situation, and then I quit. Sell and make money. Okay, is that okay? Up now, just read. Who is going to read? Whose voices? ये थक जाते हैं बहुत जल्दी. आप पढ़ोगे? चलो.
The relative strength index RSI is a popular momentum oscillator used in technical analysis. It measures the speed and magnitude of a security's recent price changes to evaluate overbought or oversold conditions. RSI is commonly used to identify potential reversals, momentum, strength, and trend direction in financial markets.
Okay. So now we'll understand. यहाँ से explanation requires. Scale. RSI values range between 0 to 100. So RSI क्या है? That's an indicator which hovers between 0 to 100. Typically, readings are interpreted as follows. Above 70, overbought condition, price may be overvalued and could pull back or reverse. अगर price ऊपर हो गया है, तो now there can be a pullback and the price can fall at 70. Below 30, oversold condition, prices may be undervalued and could rebound or reverse. Is that okay? Fine. So these are the two. ये समझ में आ गया जो लिखा हुआ? अच्छा. अब now this is the formula. How do we calculate the RSI? Now अभी हम इस formula को एक numerical example से देखेंगे तो समझ में आ जाएगा. So RSI, how it is calculated? 100 minus 101 plus RS, where RS is the relative strength and relative strength is average gain upon average loss. Okay. Now how it is done? We just calculate 14-day period. 14 दिन का हमें look back लेना है. हमें पिछले 14 दिन का डेटा ले लिया हमने. Okay, like this. Step by step calculation of RSI. अब जो पीछे formula दिया हुआ था उसका आगे उसका दिया हुआ. Even if you have missed the formula or move faster, no problem, because the formula will be again captured. We will calculate a 14-day period RSI for a stock, assuming the following daily closing prices changes over the past 14 days. Gains and losses are given. Okay. So these are basically the 12 दिन का data आपके पास आ गया. Stock price. ठीक है. So closing price change. ₹2 बढ़ गया पिछले दिन से. फिर ₹1 नीचे गिर गया पिछले दिन से. फिर ₹3 बढ़ गया. So we just capture in 14 days. So we have either pluses or minuses. We segregate the pluses and minuses separately. Gain and loss. Fine. अब क्या होता है जो आपको बोल रहे थे कि वॉल्यूम कैप्चर नहीं हो रहा. एक्चुअली जो प्राइस चेंज होता है, अगर प्राइस बढ़ता है तो डिमांड बढ़ेगी, तो दैट मींस वॉल्यूम तो इनहेरेंट पार्ट ही है प्राइस का. फाइन. यू कांट सेग्रीगेट द प्राइस एंड वॉल्यूम एंड से ही सिर्फ प्राइस देखा है वॉल्यूम दे देते आप. किस चीज का आप देखोगे प्राइस बढ़ रहा है तो इसका मतलब मोर एंड पीपल आर ट्राइंग टू बाय, दैट्स व्हाई द प्राइस इज राइजिंग. If even the price are falling, that means more and more people are selling. That's why the price is falling.
So is it always true?
हाँ जी,
Is it always true?
क्या
ये
भाई नॉर्मल देखो, ऐसा अगर आप वैसे देखो, आप देखोगे कि प्राइस बढ़ रहा है, तो या तो डिमांड में सप्लाई तो होता है ना, जैसे प्राइस, हाँ
लेकिन जब चार्ट्स में हम देखेंगे
हाँ
वॉल्यूम पकड़ते
हाँ, तो वॉल्यूम जो देखते हैं हम एवरेज वॉल्यूम देखते हैं सर। एवरेज वॉल्यूम जो है 2 लाख स्टॉक लोग रिलायंस से खरीदते हैं रोज के, अब एक दिन 2.5 लाख हो गए, फिर अगले दिन 3 लाख हो गए। So we look at the direction. So direction will be upward or downward. So that means either people are buying as the volumes are going up, or people are selling because of the bad news. People want to exit from Reliance. एक तो हो सकता है कि 2 लाख का 2.5 लाख वॉल्यूम, 2 लाख चल रहा था एवरेज, रोज 2 लाख लोग खरीदते हैं बेचते हैं, दिस इज द नॉर्मल ट्रेंड ऑफ Reliance एवरेज ओवर द लास्ट 3 months or 2 months or 1 month. Now we suddenly find there's a spike. Instead of 2 lakh, it has come to 1 lakh 30,000. But we wait for the confirmation. Is it that it is just a blip for a day? Then it goes to 2,60,000 next day, or maintains at 2,60,000. Then it's real. 2-3 दिन तक चला गया. So then we look at how the price is reacting to the volume. Okay? If the price is rising, it may either rise or may fall. Fine. Either there is a selling momentum or there are buying momentum. Fine. तो लोग तो जब प्राइस बढ़ता है तो वॉल्यूम बढ़ती है, और प्राइस गिरता है तो भी वॉल्यूम बढ़ती है, लोग पीपल आर गोइंग एंड सेलिंग बिकॉज ऑफ द बैड न्यूज. ओके फाइन. सो अब यहाँ पर आते हैं, तो ये प्राइस जो है वॉल्यूम को कैप्चर कर रहा है. वी कांट से दैट प्राइस एंड वॉल्यूम आर टोटली डिफरेंट थिंग्स टू लुक एट. ओके, सो व्हाट वी डू इज वी जस्ट टेक द गेन्स एंड लॉसेस सेपरेटली. चलो अब हम क्या करते हैं, जस्ट फोकस. अब हमने सारी गेन्स को 14 डेज की गेन्स को ऐड कर दिया, तो 17 फिगर है, और पूरी 14 दिन की और 23 को 14 से डिवाइड कर दिया, तो एवरेज गेन आया 1.12. Average gain on the 14 days is actually both fallen again and being divided by the 14, and again we can take average loss. So average loss कैसे निकला? सब losses कैपिटल लिए, उसको 14 से डिवाइड कर दिया, उसको भी हमने 11 और 14 करके दिया. So अब हमारे पास एवरेज गेन और एवरेज लॉस आ गया. अब क्या करते हैं हम इसको RS बना देते हैं, एवरेज गेन डिवाइडेड बाय एवरेज लॉस. तो अब आ गया RS इज इक्वल टू 1.53. अब क्या करते हैं, वो फॉर्मूला लगाते हैं जो फॉर्मूला शुरू में दिखाया था, वो लगाया और RSI आ गया 60. ओके फाइन, इज इट? तो दिस मीन्स व्हाट? इंटरप्रिटेशन. जस्ट रीड. हाँ जी, अब ये फॉर्मूला है, इसको क्वेश्चन कर नहीं कर सकते हम. ओके, और ना को मैं बता सकता हूं. हाँ ये वाला, हाँ इसमें देखो मैंने क्या करा था, स्लाइड्स आपका आ चुकी हैं आज, आई हैव जस्ट गिवन. ओके, सो हमने एवरेज गेन और एवरेज लॉस ले लिया. ओके, तो एवरेज गेन डिवाइड बाय एवरेज लॉस लिया, तो RS निकल गया. ओके, सो दैट इज 1.21 डिवाइड बाय, सो एवरेज गेन वाज 1.21, यानी एवरेज गेन ज्यादा हो रहा है और एवरेज लॉस कम हो रहा है. ओके, तो इट कम्स टू 1.53. सो वी कैलकुलेट RSI 60.47. नाउ व्हाट डज इट मीन? The RSI value 16 point suggests that the stock is in bullish momentum but not yet overbought. Okay, overbought occurs when the RSI is greater than 70. बढ़ रहा है लेकिन उतना overbought नहीं हुआ है. If the future gains increase, raising the RS, then the RSI will climb closer to 70, signaling an overbought position. If the losses increase, lowering the RS will drop below 30, signaling an oversold situation. Fine. Now, RSI tracks the relative strength of the price movements by comparing the magnitude of recent gains to losses over the specific period. When the magnitude of gains or losses becomes extreme, RSI approaches overbought or oversold. Okay, overbought or oversold levels. So if it is over 70, indicates strong bullish momentum, prices may soon pull back or correct. That means it has, people have bought it. Now it's a time the share price will fall or the market may fall. Nifty और Sensex अगर RSI है तो ये हो जाएगा. ठीक है. When I read this, so I just found out what is the overbought and oversold situation of Nifty about a month back or 15 days back. I asked this question to the ChatGPT कि क्या level है RSI का. She suggested that it was 75. That means, sorry, it was 30. It was 30. That means it has been oversold. गिर गया था, बहुत गिर गया था. So now it has fallen so much that it is bound to go up. And then on the next day itself, on Friday, the market bounced back. Sensex went up by I think more than 1200 points or 2000 points. एक दिन Friday को 2000 point Sensex बढ़ा था next day itself. Okay, now just before that, उसी दिन मैं, before it happened, I was reading, there was a roundtable this thing meeting of various analysts. So they were saying, as I told you last time also, the American market has gone up by about 10% on average, or Indian market had fallen by 10% on an average, which means that the stocks which people buy, they have gone up by 15% in America, and the stock which we sell in India, because in average they had gone down by 15. So लोगों ने इंडिया बेच के अमेरिका में चला गया. पहले लोग सोच रहे थे कि शायद चाइना में पैसा जा रहा है. China was, gaining some strength, and because of some kind of announcements there, so people thought that China is becoming more lucrative. But actually, money is not going to China because China is almost at the dead end. It is never going to now, to that glory stages what it was. It is now on a fall. So the money was actually going to America. So people were buying there and selling in India. So they were booking profits and selling there. They were buying there. So अब अगर 30% का gap आ गया, so the market is now the fall is going to be arrested. Because इतना तो नहीं है कि अब भी बेचते जाओ और खरीदते जाओ. Because they have to suffer a loss of 15%, and already the American market is gone by 15%. So now it doesn't make any sense in buying further in American market. So he says now we are on the last legs of falling market, and market will now either pull back or it will go up. Okay, ऊपर ही जाएगा market, इससे नीचे नहीं जाएगा. So this is okay, fine. So यहां पर एक है, so this is the divergence. So we'll understand divergence later on. Center line, हाँ, अब अगर when the RSI crosses above 50, the signals increasing bullish momentum. When the RSI crosses below 50, it signals bearish momentum. Okay, fine. Now, some traders adjust the overbought and oversold to 80-20. Okay, to have a more momentum. Okay, like either you can keep 70-30 or 80-20, depending upon your own wish as a trader. Okay, fine. So this is okay. Just read this, Shubham.
Momentum analysis, it helps identify the strength of a trend. Reversal signals can provide early warnings to potential reversals via overbought, oversold levels or divergences. Customizable time periods and thresholds can be adjusted to suit any style and.
So that means 70-30 or 80-20, depending upon your own trading style. If you are more aggressive or you want to be more conservative, so you can just make those your own adjustments to the RSI limitations. Okay, last time, फिर उसका break.
All signals, RSI can give misleading overbought, oversold readings in strong trends. Example, RSI remains over 70 in a strong uptrend without a reversal.
हाँ, अगर मार्केट ट्रेंडिंग है और आपने RSI से चेक करा है, तो 70 पे भी आ गया, आप सोचोगे ओवरबॉट है, बट ऐसा नहीं है. Because the market will keep trending up because you are using a wrong indicator. You should have been using actually MACD rather than the RSI in that case if the market is trending. If the market is range bound, the RSI gives you absolutely a correct information about the this because it tells you the overbought and oversold position. तो वो range bound में सबसे ज़्यादा more meaningful is the RSI. Otherwise, it will give you a wrong signal. In a trending market, even at 70, you think the market is overbought. It's not. The market may still be rising. Okay, lagging.
Lagging nature, RSI reacts to historical price movements, making it slightly lagging. Its confirmation should be used with other indicators, example MACD, trend lines, for better reliability.
So if you are looking at a couple of indicators, MACD, RSI, ADX, everything, then you can make out the DI. DI is positive and negative. So आपको overall there is a confluence of indicators which will tell you a little better because the charts can always baffle you and can mislead you also unless you have if you read them properly and read all the kind of indicators to come to a understanding. Okay. हाँ, एक सेकेंड, अब मैं let me just close and understand. तो यहाँ पर अब break होगी and I'm just closing this recording, so otherwise it will keep recording unnecessarily.